Hello, everybody. It is Dee and Renee, and we are all about everything pumpkin pie spice today. And she has come up with some amazing recipes that you can use in any phase, but particularly if you are in phase one, you're in weight loss phase, everybody is, getting ready for fall, and Starbucks is going crazy with the pumpkin pie lattes, and you're feeling left out. Well, you don't have to feel left out. So, Dee, welcome to the show, and tell us what you have going on.
Fall, fall, fall. We already have some fall weather in Canada, so pumpkin spice, everything falls into line right now with our weather for sure. And of course, all the big box stores and food chains, of course, they actually started their pumpkin spice campaign at the end of August, so they weren't going to miss a beat. And so I had a little giggle about that and thought, well, we should get on board before the chocolate peppermint craze for Christmas is released, in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Don't even say that.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
However, it is, if you love pumpkin spice, highly aromatic and just a wonderful smell, even if you don't love the taste. So everything from food to candles to lotion to shampoos to everything, we are in the pumpkin spice season now. However, it is, if you love pumpkin spice, highly aromatic and just a wonderful smell if you don't love the taste. So Did I lose you?
Nope, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I apologize. we had some technical difficulties, so I was trying to fix them. But anyway, okay. So if you are on this broadcast and you want recipes on pumpkin pie and everything nice, all you have to do is type in the word recipe, and those recipes will be coming your way on Facebook Messenger. And so first things first, I see some people out there watching us. So tell us who you are, where you're from. Tell us, are you in what phase you're in? Just put 1 for phase 1, 2 for phase 2, whatever. If you're in maintenance, put number 4 and a big heart. That means you reached your goal. So, all right. Dee, I'm gonna pull up. So Dee has me I can't believe it. It's just so yummy looking, all of these fantastic recipes. But the first and foremost recipe that she put up here is the pumpkin pie spice. So let's talk about buying spice mixes at the store and why you need to make your own.
Okay. I love whole spice and I love quality spice. So I was always going to encourage you to buy high quality spices that are in jars. Now that doesn't mean that you need to go to gourmet stores. The glass jars that you see in your grocery store most often have high quality spice. Now, some may be also in the plastic pouch packaging, but beware of bulk bins where you don't have any food labels or ingredient labels on those spices. Those herbs and spices often contain fillers and sulfites and things that we don't necessarily need or want in our bodies. So it's always really nice to know what exactly that you are working with. Now, in the trendy seasons and the spice blends that come together, sometimes those guys are a little bit overpriced because, of course, that's the commercial push. And so if you have the whole ingredients in your cupboard, it is very easy to make your own blends. They do store well, and again, I like glass. I like glass jars where you can shake and remix. And just know that when you're blending your own spices, that you need to give those jars a little shake every once in a while, because they are pure spice and they don't have the fillers to keep them, your spices separated from each other. And then to long term, if any moisture or anything gets into those jars, then they're going to be a little bit sticky. However, the spice is still totally usable. So go ahead and, pinch it in your fingers and mix it up, and don't be scared to use it. And I also would encourage you, in that picture, those are really big cinnamon sticks. And years and years and years ago, I started Christmas crafting with real cinnamon sticks, just because of the aromatic essence that they give any room. And so a wonderful, I love using real cinnamon sticks as my coffee stir stick. It's a lot of fun, and then you can chew on them as well.
That is such a great idea. I love that because, I love a good Mexican coffee. And there's a IP, a way to make your Mexican coffee. And no, it does not have tequila in it. But nice and spicy and cinnamony. And that's awesome. Okay, so if you are just joining us, remember, all you have to do is type in the words recipe, and we will send you the recipes through Facebook Messenger. And tell us where you're from. So we have a couple people here. Donna is in phase 1 in Oklahoma. Thanks for joining us, Donna. And Deb is from Kansas City. And all you have to do is type in the words recipe, and they are going to come in your Facebook Messenger. And if you're on the live broadcast, I'm running a little behind, so those will come to you in a little bit. All right, so let's take a look over here. And oh my God, this looked so amazing. So pumpkin pie, spice crepes, and cream. So tell us about this, Dee.
I am a big crepe fan, no matter what you're using to make those crepes. But a very light and delicious way to make them is out of the vanilla drink mix, which is also a gluten-free product. And if you have never made crepes, I would encourage you to just watch a quick little how-to video on how to do it, so that your batter is spread nice and thin on your pan. They cook very quickly. It's a very fast and simple project. You can flavor your batter, or you can leave them plain to flavor with your filling. And that is what I have done here. I wanted to flavor them with pumpkin spice cream. Now the fun thing about that is that I chose to use another vanilla drink mix to make my cream, keeping this recipe true gluten-free. I know a lot of times I will post a recipe and I will immediately get feedback saying, can you make it gluten-free, or can you make it egg-free or milk-free? And so we want to try to give you a few more options to meet those requirements as well. To make crepe cream, if you follow our recipes, you will see that I have quite a few versions of cream. And it's very simple. It's basically heating and then stirring until it reduces down to make a lovely thick cream. You need just a little bit of patience. So if you want to make cream filling for crepes, give yourself at least 30 minutes by the stove. So not a recipe that you want to just have a couple minutes for. But I guarantee you that if you take the time to make these, they are a fabulous breakfast, lunch, brunch, or even if you just have, a craving for something that's a little bit sweet, but not overly sweet. And so the filling is actually IP maple syrup with a touch of Walden Farms marmalade. That's optional, but it adds a nice little flavor flair. And you're going to just cook your vanilla drink mix down until it makes a nice thick cream, and you can serve it hot or cool. And I actually prefer to let it cool a little bit. The cooler it gets, the thicker it gets. And then I like to roll some cream in the crepe and then drizzle over top. Or you can just roll your crepes unfilled, you know, and then here kind of goes the sky the limit. You don't have to make any filling for crepes, and you can spread whatever the heck you want in those. I was also going to tell you, you can also make a pumpkin pie paste or a reduction, and I actually didn't get it up on a card yet, but I will do that for you too, because it's another option for filling crepes and for making the beloved pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah, and what can you tell us what the ingredients are?
So my pumpkin is actually pureed rutabaga. It is the closest consistency that I could get to pumpkin. So when you flavor the rutabaga with your pumpkin spice and maple syrup, if you want to get fancy and use some real cinnamon extracts or things like that, you can as well. But the rutabaga actually takes on the taste of your sweeteners and your spice, just like pumpkin does. And so using the Ideal Proteins maple syrup, some rutabaga, and some spice, you simply cook it down into a nice paste, a nice reduction. And if the texture of the rutabaga or pumpkin bothers you, you can strain it. You can strain the actual veggie out, or if you don't mind a little bit of texture, you can mix it right in and use it as a filling or use it as your base in a pumpkin pie latte.
Wow, I love that. That's so creative. I love Dee because she just, not only does she create it, but she explains why. And I just love that. All right, you guys. And I see we have Patrice is coming from Dallas. She's in phase 1. Welcome everybody. And if you are interested in these recipes, all you have to do is type in the word recipe, and we will be sending them through your Facebook Messenger. Tell us where you're from and what phase you're in, and tell us what your favorite pumpkin pie spice thing is, and maybe Dee can recreate that for us. All right, so the next thing we're moving on to here is, these looked amazing, these cookies.
I call them my naked pumpkin spice cookies, and there's a reason. So kind of on the theme I already talked about a little bit is we often get requests for gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free. Many of my recipes contain egg, and that's just simply because it's what I'm used to cooking with personally and used to baking with, and I don't have any allergies, so it's very easy for me to reach for those kind of ingredients. But we do have clients that have milk allergies or egg allergies or intolerances, and so I wanted to show you that you can take some very, very simple ingredients and make a drop cookie. And this works with a few Ideal Protein products, but the best one for it is the oatmeal. And so picture it as maple oatmeal, and it has a little bit of rutabaga puree, and it has your pumpkin spice in it. A little bit of oil if you wish, not required. I do like it for moisture, but the pumpkin or the rutabaga puree offers you that moisture. And that's it. That's all. You can drop it onto, you mix them well together, drop it on parchment paper. I like to just press it down with the back of a spoon a little bit to make a nice round so that they cook evenly, and 15 minutes at 350, and that is 1 pack of maple oatmeal with a little bit of rutabaga puree. So really fast, really easy, gives you another option to get that pumpkin spice flavor, maybe breakfast on the go, or maybe you're tired of just having a drink, or still highly portable, something you can eat at work, in the car, on the go, those types of things. But also just wanted to show you that we can make some really, really simple recipes. They don't always have to be elaborate. And so I just wanted to present both today to you.
That's awesome. I love that. And you know what, we have a lot of gluten-free clients. So It's really nice that we have a whole product line that has plenty to choose from. And then, we use them for these special recipes so that you can bake things and really enjoy, the journey. Just want to say hello, Kelly. Thanks for joining us. Kelly is in phase 1, and she is from Austin, Texas area. And again, if you are watching us and you have a special recipe that you would like to find out about, how you can create things that are special to you or things that your grandmother made, she is the creator here. I'm just the girl behind the camera. All right. So next we've got, pumpkin pancakes. Now, who doesn't love a pumpkin pancake?
Pancakes, pancakes, pancakes. I have this really, people are going to get tired of me telling my little personal anecdotes, but I have to be really truthful to you all. I really dislike pancakes, but my kids really, really love pancakes. Yeah, I'm a bacon and eggs girl all the way, all the way. It's just a personal, but my kids adore pancakes, and the bigger, the fluffier, the better. So yeah, I know. Weird, I know. Maybe I was always destined to be an IP carnivore. I don't know. However, again, pumpkin spice pancakes. What an awesome way to wake up to that smell in your kitchen. And again, for anybody on, phase 1, 2, 3, or even 4 in maintenance, these products, you can use them in maintenance, or you can, if you're in maintenance and you want to substitute some other, protein powders to do some baking, hey, that's great too. It works as well. The really neat thing about the pancakes and pumpkin spice, and these ones, I did 2 versions. I used the rutabaga puree again, and I also used zucchini, because both of those, the squash and the rutabaga, both take on the pumpkin spice flavor really, really well. Another really fun thing is chocolate goes really well with pumpkin spice too. And so plain pancake, the chocolate chip pancake, and the caramel mud cake all make fantastic pumpkin spice pancakes. So you won't go wrong with any of those products. And so, if you have a pack of any of those kicking around in your stash, I would encourage you to try it. And it's really fast and simple to make, whether it takes you just a couple minutes to fine grate some zucchini, or if you take the time to go ahead and make a little bit of our mock pumpkin puree, which is rutabaga puree. So yeah.
Well, you know what? I have to tell you, I love a pancake.
There you go.
There was a time in our life when my mom was going to night school, and so my dad would make us dinner, and his version of dinner is he would make us green pancakes or Mickey Mouse pancakes. But that's like, old home comfort to me. So yeah, definitely love the pumpkin pie or pumpkin spice pancakes. And I would definitely try them with the caramel mud cake. One thing I have to ask you about, with a caramel mud cake packet, when you're making pancakes, do you have to add any baking powder to it, or does it just work on its own?
I've done it both ways. If you forget, it's still going to work. However, I like that little extra boost of another little 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, when you make things like waffles in a waffle maker, if your waffle batter really bubbles out and spills over, even with a small amount, then that's a sign you have too much baking powder in your actual batter. So for pancakes, really user friendly, whether you admit it or whether you add it. But if you're working with more like an actual waffle maker, those types of, panini pans, anything that is pressing your product together, and you only use a little bit of batter, and if it all comes spilling out, then that's a sign that you have a little bit too much bicarbonate in your recipe. So sometimes it's trial and error, and I also don't want to taste any baking powder or baking soda in my finished product. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Just want to
Yeah.
say hi to Lisa. She's in phase 1 coming from Canada. And Jennifer is my client. She's here. She's a fun gal and doing well in phase 1. She does love to bake and loves all your recipes, Dee. Okay, let's move on over here. And this looks super tasty. Tell us what we got.
That is just a simple baked pumpkin spice vanilla pudding. I don't know if any of you or all of you have ever had cooked pudding pie in your life, but of course, when fall rolls around, it's really popular pie making time, and cooked or baked puddings come into play for that. And so cold pudding is lovely if you like that texture, but baked pudding is just a little bit heartier and thicker and a great way to infuse flavor. So this one, this is a vanilla pudding. I did put an egg in there. You don't have to. You could omit that if you didn't want it. The spices, some maple syrup, and you cook it until it's nice and thick and smooth, and you remove it from heat, and you beat it once in a while to keep it nice and smooth. And I added my pumpkin spice, and I actually used a little bit of cinnamon extract in this particular bowl and whipped it in there once it was removed from heat. And then once cooler, I transferred it to that little dish that you see there. And I actually put it in the fridge overnight just because I had a lot of pumpkin things going. And I had this for breakfast this morning. And you could reheat it, but I just had it cold. And it was thick and delicious, and the pumpkin spice infusion, it was wonderful. It's a wonderful, I don't know what it, what I think it is that the fall colors and the fall smells to me are very calming. It's like yeah.
It's a quieter time of year. We kind of get settled, we've been crazy and vacationing and running around. Yeah.
I lost you there for a second. Sorry.
Oh, you lost me? Well, did you hear me?
No.
Okay. All right. So you guys know that if you want these recipes, all you have to do is type in recipe, and we will be sending those to you. And I want to say hello here. We've got Leah. She is also from Canada. She just got back from her weigh-in, and she's so pumped because she's down 17 pounds and excited for fall. Yay, good for you. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. It's so nice to, talk with everybody and collaborate, because that's what we're here to do. Okay, Dee, tell us what's going on here. This sounds amazing. I saw this. This is, Dee and I, we can do 30 minutes. It feels like 5 seconds, and 30 minutes is over. So this is our last recipe for the pumpkin pie show. Dee, tell us what we got going on here.
Do we have one more after this one, Renee?
We do? Do we?
One more?
Okay, wait. Okay, we got that 1, 2, 3. Ooh, you know what? We missed one. Oops. Okay, sorry. Here we go.
Okay. That's okay. This is my version of phase 1 pumpkin pie. And I just want to tell you that I really personally feel like it is the best IP pie that I have ever made. And I have made quite a few IP pies. And the filling is so good that you could just keep on using that filling straight through phase 4, and then just put a good old healthy dollop of real whipping cream on this pie. Now, I did do a little sneak release of this one yesterday. So if you do see it floating around, this is the same recipe. It just has a different picture. And if you do like pumpkin spice or pie or both, I really, really would encourage you to make this recipe. And this particular recipe, I am going to sample with in our clinic next week for a couple of days for any dieters that come to check in, so that they can really see that no matter, fall, Canada has Thanksgiving, I think in about 6 weeks or 5 or 6 weeks before the US celebrates Thanksgiving, but I want to give you and present you a lot of wonderful ways that you don't ever have to feel like you're missing out on special meals on special occasions. And so that's all I'm going to say about pumpkin pie. Make it. That's what I'm going to say. Make the pie. Make the pie.
Yeah, it looks super amazing, and I will find that recipe and post it up here. Okay, so let's go to the muffins. The muffins look amazing.
A little bit about muffins. If you see a muffin recipe from me, the chances are that you're going to be able to also make it into a drop cookie, possibly into a cake, and most likely into a loaf. So you don't have to run out and buy special pans or molds or things like that when you see recipes sometimes. My favorite cooking tool in the kitchen is parchment paper, and I love parchment paper liners. Just for easy cleanup, and just because I do a lot of baking for my family, but also I love to test recipes. So I'm a way better baker than I am cleaner. So I need to have, fast and efficient. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, that if you see it as a muffin, you can have other options to preparing that as well. This base recipe is a recipe that I use a lot for muffins, just because the texture and the moisture comes out so predictable every time. I've never had a fail, no matter what veggie or spice I have put with it. So if you think you've seen a similar muffin to this one before, you most likely have if you made one of mine. And again, in sticking with the pumpkin spice theme for fall, the maple oatmeal just made this muffin a really wonderful pairing. And I really like the fine grated zucchini in this one. And it takes on the pumpkin spice flavoring so well. And if you want to really infuse your veggies, go ahead and sprinkle some of that pumpkin spice right into your veggies and let it sit and rest a little bit, and stir it around and really let it infuse before you mix your wet and dry ingredients together.
Oh, that looks amazing. So I did find that one. Let's see, where is that one recipe at? Oh, cuckoo. Okay, well, I thought I had brought it up here, but apparently it's not going to work for me. Okay, so Dee, as we close out our show, let's talk a little bit about the holidays and just how you incorporate, like the first time you did phase 1, how did you handle your holiday meals?
So I don't want to make things sound sunshiny and rainbowy when sometimes they're not, but however, my first experience with IP, nothing was stopping me in my success. I did not give a hoot about anybody's birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, Thanksgiving. My family that was closest to me, so say my mom and my dad and that family. So if I was going to a Thanksgiving meal at their house, I knew my mom was going to, I know exactly what she's going to prepare. I knew what I was going to be able to eat and not eat there. And I never felt deprived if there was something on the table that I couldn't have. I didn't really care about it. I knew my mom would have awesome turkey. She always makes killer plain, salads with, she doesn't pre-dress them. She lets everybody dress their own salads. She would have mashed rutabaga for me. So just right there in those 3 things alone, I knew I was going to have no problem getting 4 cups of my vegetables and 8 ounces of protein. So I did not, I just got on and I got it done. But I have to tell you, when I went to do a reboot after, I had to do a little bit more convincing of myself that it would get a little bit pouty, or why is this so hard? Or, everybody, I don't know if any of you saw my post a little while about good morning, except to anybody who can eat what they want and not gain weight. I was having I was having a little pity party about that, it's so easy for some and not for others. And so I think most of us, one time or the other, but all those special occasions and holidays are still going to be there. If you have, we always make choices, and we always make our own choices. And, if you make maybe a choice that makes you feel bad about yourself or your journey, that's a learning moment for you to go, yeah, you know what, I made that choice, and probably wasn't the right one, because then I felt guilty or I was grumpy about it, and you don't want to be guilty or grumpy. So if you have a goal in mind, I'm just going to encourage you to, stay focused. Remember your whys. Remember why you're important. You are the most important. A healthy, happy you is required for everybody else around you. And, you are going to be living with yourself longer than anybody else is ever going to be living with you. So don't be scared to take care of yourself. And the other thing too is there are so many good coaches and clinics out there. If you are ever struggling, whether it's with food or whether with family and friends undermining your work, or et cetera, pick your your stumbling point. If you need help, don't be scared to ask it, ever. What might be a simple solution for somebody isn't for you. And so don't ever be scared to talk about it. I see so many polite dieters that let their family and friends control their environment and their outcome, when I want to tell all of you that, when you're taking care of you, it's totally okay to be a little bit selfish, because it's not selfish. We're told that it is. It's not. It's required. And so, yeah, reach out, ask questions, and even specific. Maybe you have a specific issue, coming up. Talk to your coach about it. If you don't have that family or friend or spousal support, let's figure out, the best route for you. Whether it is, eating full meals before you go to family gatherings, and just having a tiny bit more on those special occasions to get you through. Sometimes it needs to be done. Food is not love if it's not going to nourish your body. And so if somebody is offended because you won't eat their food, that's their problem, not yours. So just know that. Just know that. Yeah. Yeah.
Such great words of wisdom.
Well, I think most of us have experienced some really trying moments. And, as a coach, I have been in awe of how cruel, and I'm going to say cruel, that people who are, supposed to be your biggest area of support or love to you, become so incredibly critical when one is trying to improve their life. And for whatever reason, most of the time, I'm going to say it probably brings out their own insecurities, maybe a little bit of jealousy, of your success or your determination. And the big thing is put you first. It's not selfish. And if somebody tells you that it is, they're not right. They're just not right. It's, you have to do what's right for you. And so
that's right. I love all those tips, Dee, because that's the real deal. What Dee just said is the real deal. And many times we've gotten ourselves into the place that we're at because we are, always putting others first and doing what they want from us. So on that note, if you would like the recipes, please type in the word recipe. I am from Reformation Body Solutions in Los Gatos, California, and Dee is from Red Cliff Pharmasave up in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. And, we're here to share. And every week we love, giving back to you and sharing our thoughts with you. And the great, great recipes that Dee creates. So visit their website. Red Cliff Pharmasave has all of Dee's recipes on it. And of course, make sure you put us on your watch list. Would you do me a favor and share this broadcast right now? Send us a thumbs up or a heart, depending on how much you loved our show. And then, of course, make sure you're following our page so you know about it, and click see first, and you'll find out every Wednesday when we're broadcasting. All right, you guys. Dee, thank you so much. Oh, I'm just so excited to try some of your recipes and looking forward to next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Renee.